you please respond me?
Yeah, yes, you are audible.
Audible.
Okay, okay, great, great. Thanks for that. So, does anybody know about the data warehousing in general meaning as well? Could you please help me on that? So, how data warehousing? What is that? Anybody? Even Bala too as well? No? No one knows about data warehousing or warehousing? Okay, let me take it. Okay, so warehouse is nothing but to keep our things into the one particular area. So to keep store our products or our things into the in a particular big house, that's called warehouse. Okay. So similarly, we have a data warehousing. So data warehousing is nothing but it's a kind of a database, but it extends to the database. Okay. So basically, data warehouse is
No, sir.
having the huge amount of data. Like I know you might have heard about the database and all. So database which is dedication for the operational activities and those things and all. Okay, so but data warehousing is basically designed for the to store operational as well as historical data. Okay, so are you getting us, guys? Could you please respond me so that only I can
Yes,
get some
yes.
clarity? Okay, okay. So, as I mentioned, right, so data warehouse is specifically designed for the operational data as well as historical data. So, these are the major purposes they were utilized for the data warehouse. So, as I mentioned, right, so it is extension of database only. So, the database which is going to be designed in a fashion of dimensional database modeling. So, there have the certain criteria like they will go with their normalization forms and other things too as well. So whereas in data warehousing, right, they have some characteristics of data warehousing, those things and all. Like this is specifically designed for the decision making purpose. So decision making in the sense like based upon our data, the upper management, like the people who are running the business and those things and all, right. So they will make a call about the business and all. Okay, let's assume.
Sorry,
So
Raja. Sorry to interrupt you. Can you please share the screen?
okay, okay. So share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see the screen.
Yes, yes. Yeah, now we can able to see your screen.
Okay, okay. So so these are the major concept of data warehousing. So as I mentioned, so data warehouse is extension of data warehousing only. So it has a vast experience and all. So data warehousing was majorly brought up by the Ralph and Inaman. Those are the data scientists from the US. So they brought up the data warehousing and they based upon those rules only we are building on the data warehousing and those things like that. So data warehouse has different architectures and those things and that. And these are the parts we are going to be designing those things and that. Okay. So so basically, let's assume so this is the particular business. Okay, we have a such kind of information which is going to be captured in the data warehousing. Let's say it has some characteristics for data warehousing. Uh, Time variant and focus on particular business or things and non-volatile and environment focus, non-volatile and accessible. Yeah, these are the major characteristics of data warehousing and all. So basically, what I'm trying to help here is, so data warehouse is nothing but a database, so which is extension to the operational as well as historical data. So data warehousing they will call some people call DW and DWH as well. Okay. So as I mentioned, it is extension to the database plus historical data. So as you know, database which is hold current operational data, right? But in warehouse, which is operational plus historical, that's called data warehouse. Okay, it's simple. Okay, so what is the purpose of data warehousing being utilized means decision making. Under that. Okay, so uh, let me give an example. Okay, so let's say we have a something called ASDA. Okay, don't do ASDA. Okay, let me do put Walmart. Okay, so Walmart is the one of the big retail gate in US. Okay, so now these guys doing business. Business in different areas of USA. Okay, so now these guys has to be understand how the business is doing. So to understand this business, they want to get the data in a particular area. So to onboard those areas is nothing but data warehousing. Okay, so data warehousing can illustrate all data of Walmart, transactional and history data. Okay. So here, right, data warehouse can integrate with multiple systems. So when I say multiple systems, right? So multiple system in a sense like they are doing businesses through different applications. Okay, they were doing with some ERM application, ERP applications. Okay, total confusion with the multiple systems. So they were feeding the data with data feeding like ERP applications, and they might be using some file systems, or they might have some web applications. Okay, so these are the multiple systems. They are feeding their data. I mean, whatever they are doing the business aside, that information which is going to be captured with these multiple systems. Okay, so these application we have to make it as a one repository where we can uh, conclude our business how it is going to be happening. So for these information, we have to keep it in one central repository. That's called data warehouse. So that warehouse, right, whatever it may be, whether it is a current or historical data, which is going to be keep in the data warehouse. So whenever we have the all holistic data, right, holistic data in DWH. So then only we can go for analysis. Is it clear so far? Do you have any questions? Guys, please put me your question so that I can answer you. So I can assume something you have get in your mind. Anybody? Hala? Ram?
Please respond here. Otherwise, very difficult to. With- Somebody should acknowledge what you understood, what you are not understanding.
Yeah, as of now, there is no doubts.
Okay. Okay. Can I ask some questions on the data warehousing side?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what is the purpose of data warehousing?
Purpose of the data warehousing is nothing but to store the data,
Mhm.
structured data, to store the
Okay.
structure in
So we were
database.
storing the data in a database as well, right?
Yes, yes. It is unstructured data we can store in database. In data warehouse, we can store the structured data.
Okay. So you mean to say only unstructured data only we can store in the data warehouse, right? So can't we store the structured data and semi-structured data?
Sorry,
Can't we store the semi-structured data and structured data?
in data warehouse.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, we can store.
Okay. Okay. Great. Something good. Okay. Good. So basically, what Ram said is true. So when we keeping our data, it might be structural format, or see basically the data is being like three varieties of data, and three. Structure and semi-structural and unstructured. So these are the data. Okay. So when we are keeping the data into the data warehouse, right, it should be in a structural format. Okay. So the raw data we are pulling from the sources, right? Source we have is nothing but multiple systems. These are the sources. Anything you get, either it is a anything, ERP application, file system, application, sensors, or file systems, whatever it may be. So those data come as like a structural or semi-structural and unstructural. Okay. So whatever the data we are getting, right, those can be pushed into the data warehouse. Okay. So how the data warehousing is doing is, let me tell you. So this is file system, like text format. This is databases. Any. So you might find Oracle or MS SQL or Replica or anything can be. Okay. And this is something like NoSQL database, and mostly they won't utilize these things a lot, but I'm just giving you. Okay. So these are the data arriving process. Okay. And these are So this is something called vault. Okay, now here. Okay, so this is Walmart business, and they have the different platform to capture their business into the file system and DVs and those things. Now the thing is, they want to keep this data in a structural form. Okay, might be this file system is an unstructured format, this is a semi-structured format, and this is a like the raw format. Okay, so these data they want to be unified platform and make it as a central repository. So that time, what they will do is, so they will do this data into the structural format, and they will keep into the data warehouse. So this is the symbol which is represent the data warehouse. Okay, which is called data warehouse. So this which is pushed into the data warehouse. So in between this, okay, they were having couple of processes. Okay, with help of ETL, they will connect to the different file systems and different databases, and they will push into the here. So how they will push means, so this is the data warehousing. They are having the all information here. Okay. So while they were doing the data warehousing, right, they will keep multiple layers in the data warehouse. As you might see in the multiple schemas in the data warehousing, right? Similarly, they will maintain the different databases for different purposes. Okay, one data warehouse have multiple databases, so they might treat them as a sources like let's say for each source they will treat them as a stage stage of files, and similarly, my bad, sorry, I'm not moving this. Okay, so they will keep like this. Okay, okay, stage file, stage DB, and these things and all. why they were keeping these many things in the data warehousing means, so they are planning to prevent the data losses. So it might be anything. So if any system draws or any file crashes has happened in the source system, so to prevent the loss of the data, so they were keeping a copy of stage layer. So here they will store all the raw in the sense sources of data. They will keep over here, and they will process into the different layers. Okay, they will keep the process layers over here. This is process layer. Okay, and finally DWH. So it's called data warehousing hub. Okay, so now tell me the whole data where it is be. Anybody? Any can answer. Ram, you want to take the opportunity?
Can you please come once again?
So the whole data, whatever the file system, DB, Sunno, MongoDB, the whole Walmart data, whole data where it can be reside in
It
the
stores in data warehouse.
okay, in which layer?
Mm,
Okay, yeah, that's nice. But see here, so when we go with the data warehousing, right, they might come up with a different architecture. Okay, stage layer, process layer, data one. Okay, stage is capture the sources data. Okay, whatever we are feeding the data from the source, right, same replica in the stage file. From stage to process layer, we are doing all the cleansing activities and pushing into the process layer. Process layer to data hub, which is going to be structural format. All kind of necessary actions, like let's say now you are getting some unwanted data and unstructural format, such kind of things and all. In staging layer, we are clean up those data and all, and we are pushing into the data. Okay, so now whole data, like whatever these sources data, right, which is going to be residing here. Okay, now the people going to be get this data into the data warehousing, and they will segregate into the data mart. Data mart is nothing but one of the subset of data. Let's say now we have the data warehouse have the huge amount of data. So the people, whenever the query it, right, it will take the hours of time to retrieve the queries data. Let's say now we have the all the regional wise data and all the historical data, right? So when you put the query, definitely it will take huge amount of time it will take to retrieve, right? So instead of avoiding those kind of things and all, people will create a one more instance called data mart. Okay, let me, it will be part of data warehousing only. uh, so what is data mart in a sense? Data mart is nothing but subset of data which is reside in the data warehousing. Nothing but, so let's say now your data warehousing have the whole historical data, right? So whenever the BA people query, right, BA, business intelligence. So our data warehousing data, mostly people will utilize the business intelligence base. Nothing but developer, the four developers. I think you might like a Tableau or Power BI or Jasper or any other reporting tool. Okay, so these people utilize the our utilize our what you said, data warehousing data. Okay, so when these data warehousing have the historical data, right? So whenever these guys are uh, query the data from the data warehousing means it will take like ages of retrieve the data. I mean, it will take too much time to retrieve the data. Take too much time retrieve the data. Okay, while querying. Okay, guys, it is mostly all theoretically only data warehousing concepts and all. So when you go to the real time, by the time only you will get some experience on this side. So you can't we can't keep any practical exercises over the here. Okay, you getting my point, right? Guys, respond me. Hello, you guys are sleeping or what? Ram,
No, proceed.
yeah, you understand right what I'm telling? Okay, so mostly the data warehousing things and all into the theoretical part of it. We don't have any practical implementations in the our things itself. Why means whenever you go to the live projects and all, right? So by the time you will get more clarity on the project wise and all. Then only, even if you can't see visualize those things in your project as well. Okay, that will be built down logically. Okay, so this is how business intelligence people will consume our data warehousing data. So while utilizing the data from the data warehousing, it will take huge time of to retrieve those things and that. So now they came to understand, so we can't worry the huge amount data. So for that sake, they brought up a new concept called data mart. So data mart, as I mentioned, right, it is a subset of data. Subset in a sense, like now data warehousing have the all years information, like from somewhere like 1950s onwards, they were capturing the data. Yes, but we don't require this much of information, right, to analyze those things and all. So what they will do means they will keep the data mart in different years of data or different regions of data. They will keep like that. Okay, so here they will keep only last 10 years of data, like going to be 10 year data. They will keep it to the like they will name like the data mart like 2010 year data. Okay, So what it will contain means this will contain the 2010 year data only. Okay, so this is how it is going to be defined like in the data marts. Okay, now when you we want to be see more than of if we want to see previous records means we have to go back to the data warehouse. Why means data warehousing is the central repository of all our data. So, but when you want to fetch only 2010 data means you can go with the data mart. Why means we were segregated the data and we push over here. So, which is faster than the data warehousing, and it will give all the different region wise and other things and all. It will give in a faster manner. So that's why we have created the data mart. Okay, so let coming to the our first characteristics of our data. Okay, uh, data warehousing characteristics. As I mentioned, it is a time variant. So time variant in the sense based upon our what you can say. Excuse me. So it is based upon our, in future or past, whatever the data is coming into, right? So accordingly, it will capture those things and all. Okay, based upon our future data and past data and current data. So with respect to the time things and all, it is going to be captured on those things and all. And coming to the focus on a particular business means, let's say you are doing the warehousing on a particular business area like retail or health insurance or any particular products or something like that. So those objects can be focused on non-volatile in the sense the data which is going to be stale mode. Stale in the sense what I can say. So the data can't be changed in a over of time. That's called. So let's say now you are having the business of some products like laptops or something like that. So now you can't move to the any other products like so you can't feed the data of health